Here is Shelly Servadio Elias to tell her story.
Good evening. Thank everybody for being here and taking time out of your busy schedule for this very, very important event. I was barely 18. 10 days after I turned 17, I joined the Army. I was 16, my senior year. My parents said, "What if you become a prisoner of war?" "I will sacrifice for my country. I love my country," I said. But let me start from the beginning. Yo soy Vanessa! Say it.
Soy Vanessa.
I'm giving you permission tonight to express yourselves. Think of her sister. Think of her mother. Think of all of the mothers who have throwaway daughters, who've gone off to serve their country, and who have been left in the woods. As a female veteran like Vanessa Guillen, I stand here this evening with LULAC to demand justice for her. I want to start by sharing with you the Veterans Creed. It says, "I am an American veteran. I proudly served my country. I live the values I learned in the military. I continue to serve my community, my country, and my fellow veterans. I am chair of the Iowa Democratic Party Veterans Caucus for the entire state of Iowa. I want you women to know that no matter what you have gone through, there is hope. There is life after this. You can survive. You can go on. One foot in front of the other. Keep moving. You lived. You can have purpose. Keep going, ladies and gentlemen, because sexual abuse in the military and sexual assault in the military doesn't just happen to women. It also happens to trans people, and it also happens to men, and it's underreported. And those things, unfortunately, those numbers are going up. Since 2016, those numbers have not gone down, they're going up. We are failing our active duty military personnel in this country miserably. And you guys should know that. Yo soy Vanessa Guillen. Say it.
Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
That's right. That's right. I honor and remember my fallen comrades. PTSD MST is my VA diagnosis. I am 50% rated disabled by the VA. I experienced rape trauma as a private first class while in training. I was in the U.S. Military Intelligence Academy at Fort Devens, Massachusetts in 1989. I'm kind of dating myself here. I was in training to become an electronic warfare signal intelligence Morse code interceptor. Okay. So this is where I'm going to give you guys a trigger warning. Trigger warning, everybody. Okay. A squad of Marines drugged me. They threw firecrackers at my head while pretending to shoot me with their M16s that they had taken from the armory that was in the same building that they lived in, their barracks. There's a whole squad of them, and one of them had an STD. After taking turns, they left me unconscious and in the woods in Fort Devens, Massachusetts in the winter in February, drugged and beat up. I do not know how I survived, but I did. I somehow woke up and I crawled out of those woods. I spent 2 days in the hospital. What I do remember is that I couldn't stop crying, and that both the first sergeants, the Marine first sergeant and the Army first sergeant, both came to my room and visited me. And how dare I be at the Marine barracks? They yelled at me. We call that victim shaming, victim blaming. No justice, no peace. Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
I walked my ranger buddy to the Marine barracks at night. Why did I go? Was it my fault that I was attacked? Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
I went back to the military intelligence school with the Marines who raped me. I did not quit. I would not fail. I am not a quitter. I'm going to put a lot of people on notice right now. There are people out there that think it's okay to push around female veterans who are open about having PTSD. It's not okay. It is an extension of harassment and bullying and dragging of females. It is wrong. Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
I was honorably discharged from the United States Army in 1991 after I re-enlisted during wartime. Let me make this clear. I graduated from the Military Intelligence Academy. I served with honor during war. I re-enlisted during war. And I have gone on. I have lived a textbook PTSD broken life because of that rape trauma and PTSD, because I didn't know I could get help until about a couple years ago. I didn't know. Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
I have survived divorce, domestic violence, bankruptcy, and my 5 children have suffered and continue to deal with my battle scars because of what I went through. And it's incredibly difficult what women go through when they're in the military and they cannot get help from their superiors, when their superiors are the predators, when their chain of command has ultimate power and dominance over their lives. There's nowhere to go. Vanessa Guillen tried to tell her mother something's wrong here, but her mother was powerless to help her, and her chain of command utterly failed her. I have permanent physical and emotional injuries. I have nightmares. The Army sought no justice ever. To this day, there will never be justice. Only a few years ago, the VA rated me at the 50% disabled injury because of my MST, which stands for military sexual trauma. And the VA only thought of me worthy of being half of a human being. Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
I will sacrifice for my country. I love my country. I read about Senator John McCain. He was one of my heroes before I joined the Army. The VA says I got hurt by friendly fire, and this was not a combat injury. I challenged them to survive a squad of Marines and survive. I challenged them to survive a squad of Marines and survive. Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
I never imagined the most horrific danger is the enemy within. Our troops protect each other's backs, give cover, and join together to commit assault in teams. All are guilty, yet no one will tell on each other. Women and men equally can be victims of assault. Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
Yo soy Vanessa Guillen.
Retaliation is a very real fear for soldiers, and zero-tolerance policies have increased those fears. Military police can't be allowed to handle their own business. There must be civilian enforcement of military crimes that happen on bases. Our legislators here in Iowa, they've got to fix this. Federally, we need companion bills. We've got to work together, federal and state legislators, got to write companion bills and figure out how to enforce on federal property. We've got to do it. Female veterans with PTSD, MST are committing suicide at alarming rates. The stats hover around 2.5% more than their male counterparts. About 135 veterans take their own lives every day in the United States. So even if they survive rape trauma, even if they survive that, and they try to live their best lives, the demons within, they are often succumbing at an alarming rate. We've got to do better. I waited 30 years not even knowing the VA could help until a fellow cannabis nurse and Air Force veteran and MST survivor saw PTSD behavior in me, and she urged me to seek help, and I finally did. Talk to someone. Seek help. Do not go through this alone. Even though the military knew that I was raped, at discharge, I was offered no help. The entire time I was in service, I was never offered any mental health services. I didn't know I could have hope, and the chaos I dragged my family through because I didn't have healing has generational consequences. My children have suffered. Hurt people hurt people. Dysfunction multiplies dysfunction. I have harbored guilt in my heart over the destruction I have wrought on my family, and I pray God will bring healing. The repercussions on my life are infinite, yet I live, thank God. Yo soy Vanessa.
Yo soy Vanessa.